Hello and welcome again, as we look over a variety of dreams I've had and what they possibly mean, with a focus this time on dreams that have a similar theme. Dreams referencing other dreams. These are dreams I've had in which I've thought about other dreams I've had previously. In the dream I was coming out of a shop when a man reminded me that I'd forgotten a game console steering wheel, and I thought to myself that the wheel was from another dream I've had. Apologising to the man, I took the wheel to make sure I wouldn't forget it again. As I started to walk down the street with my dad at my side, I said out loud, "I'm dreaming," a couple of times, but my dad didn't respond. I noticed that the cable of the steering wheel was a telephone-like connector, and I became lucid and investigated the dream world by looking at shop signs and seeing whether the names changed when looking away and back again, but they remain consistent. Steering wheels in a dream, not surprisingly, are about controlling your life. However, this particular instance may also have been triggered by seeing a steering wheel in Game Station, RIP, the day before the dream. I don't have a record of a dream about a steering wheel before this dream, but I have since had more dreams about steering wheels. Knowing that while it's odd for a steering wheel to have a telephone type connector, which in a dream triggered my lucidness, in real life often the pedals have such a plug for connecting to the steering wheel. Usually in dreams, text, such as shop signs, change when you look at them again, which can be a trigger to become lucid. It's a good idea in real life to practice looking at shop signs or your watch, so that in your dreams you're likely to do the same, but realise you're dreaming. A short dream in which I was remembering my previous dream and going over my head what had happened. It was something to do with some computer monitors, but confusingly it was as if the dream I was supposedly remembering was happening right then. In effect, a dream within a dream. Unfortunately, I forgot a lot of the details of the dream, which is a shame, as not only is a dream within a dream meant to be reassuring, it can also help you remember a dream you've had when you wake up. I appeared to be playing Shenmue in a dream, and Ryo was in a boat fighting someone, but I wondered about what else was in the level, that if I could just fly around and see, like a boundary break video. Perhaps I was lucid as I suddenly was able to fly about the level, and one of the most striking things I saw was a large Coca-Cola bottle in the water. The dream possibly came about because of seeing a YouTube video thumbnail mentioning possible news of Shenmue 4. But the significance of Coca-Cola in the dream is that the brand is featured in the Japanese version of Shenmue 1 and 2, but was changed to the fictional Jet Cola brand in the Western releases. The next night I had a follow-up dream in which my sister as her child self was playing a Dreamcast game, and when I looked on the TV, I thought it to be the Shenmue level from my previous dream, but different, more like it was in an enclosed area, such as a hangar. Indeed, my sister used to play games on my Dreamcast, and perhaps it was a longing for a return to the simpler times of the past. Interestingly, while boats and aircraft do feature in the Shenmue games, in the dream perhaps the boat was symbolic of dealing with emotions. Note that the water was calm from what I remember, and the hangar is to do with life goals on hold. Defeating enemies. Dreams in which I've beaten bad guys, contrary to my usual dreams in which they get the upper hand. This was a Resident Evil-like dream in which I was in some kind of hall and there were zombies I was shooting with a gun. It took a couple of shots to kill each monster, but the gun was slow to fire, adding to the tension. Although the gun worked in the dream, it was a lot slower to work than expected in a video game. At the time of this dream, Umbrella Chronicles was due to be released soon, and Resident Evil 5 was also on the radar, both possible influences for the dream. Another Resident Evil dream, in which I was able to defeat the Nemesis using a rocket launcher, though if the dream version was like the one in the game, it may have later returned for a rematch. In Resident Evil 3, the Nemesis is supposed to be the downfall of the heroes, and that can also apply to anyone if we think about something or someone that opposes us, so the dream may have had a double meaning. This dream was like a crossover real life and Resident Evil, as I was killing monsters using a grenade launcher in the rooms of my home. The creatures died after a couple of hits. The scenario would perhaps make for an augmented reality game, perhaps Capcom are already working on it. The likely reason for having the dream was due to me reading about beta versions of Resident Evil 2 on the cutting room floor, though it was strange the dream was more like Resident Evil 3. Thanks for watching. If you've had any interesting dreams, then please let me know in the comments section. Bye for now. Bye.